Now is the time.
Forever? Tangent. Hold.
Halt.
Hashtag always MGM.
You are approaching the unloading area.
Calm down. AK haters.
But what if it could?
Behold the majesty of the Sistine Ceiling.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
Ha! What a cute ending.
Aloha and
Don't Dillo it.
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here with our big-time summer project, which is trying to record our podcast episodes on Riverside. Jen, how's it going?
It's going great. Listen, I do think it's going okay-ish. There's some things to figure out on the back end that I'm just going to let everyone know right now. I'm not going to get figured out until probably September. I have no time. And but tonight, because it is 1,000 degrees in New York, and Frank lives in a slightly populated area of the state, he's a little bit glitchy with probably all the power that's being used to cool everyone this evening. So we'll see how it goes.
You know, they send out the alerts of like, really reduce your power and conserve your energy, but we're going to still charge you the same amount of money, if not more, just so you're aware.
Of course.
So that's lovely. It's a nice, hot and humid second floor apartment situation here in Queens, New York. And speaking of September, you know, we're leading up to our big 400th episode in September, number 400, scheduled for September the 4th. It all comes together.
Yeah.
And so we are at 395 right here, and we're trying to do some August vacationing. So we're recording a lot of episodes together. As you're aware, if you've been listening to the last couple of weeks, we're extending Jen's trip report even further here. 395, we're going to talk about EPCOT. 396, what is that going to be, like a Disney dining / Disney Springs situation, Jen?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think dining in Springs and, you know, the hotel maybe, just some tidbits about the hotel.
So that'll be with the 96, then that'd be 97, that'd be 96 next week, then 97, 98, we're going to have some guests. 399, mark your calendars. For the last Theme Park Thursday in August, we'll have author Neil O'Brien, who authored After Disney. That's available in all your book places right now. So bookmark that date for the interview with Neil O'Brien on that day. That'll be $3.99 before the big 400.
And there's a lot planned, so stay tuned.
If you know us at all, we are planners. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Let me tangent on that moment, because I think I had let the Discord know that in my other personality that is non-Dillo planning Disney vacations, because we wait till the last minute, that in my day-to-day, I like a good planner. I need to fill out the month. I like to see what I'm doing for the whole month. I like to do all the things. I did not realize that my previous planner kind of like stopped at the end of the school year. And I was like, it'll be fine. It's summer. And then like 1 week later, I'm like, oh, my head, there's too much in my head. I need a new planner to write everything down. And so I got one, and it's so pretty. And so I was writing out August, and I was like, well, August is done. I don't know how many actual free days I have in August. How did this happen? What is going on?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There'll be a Dillo's large family cruise to a port that we will call Bermuda. At Bermuda. Later this month, not a Disney cruise, everyone, just so we're aware. We will not be talking about it at all on this podcast. I'm sure we will.
Or will we? Until we
will.
go. So, like, I don't want to compare, but...
Yeah. 2 weeks from now, I will be at the Sterling Renaissance Festival for grand finale weekend. I should say that is where you can find Lenny Burrows, the Master of Revels, the Lord of Misrule, the Merrymaker, 25 years since his first appearance at the Sterling Renaissance Festival.
Old.
I'm trying not to really think about that quarter century right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the middle of the month, and just a lot of other stuff going on. I mean, it's still the end of July. It's the last day of July. It's July 31st, but we're already so far into the future. It might as well be our November meetup, November 7th and 8th.
It's basically the holidays. Happy New Year, everybody.
We'll be at the Very Merry Christmas party on November. Am I gonna get the days right? Yeah, November 7th, and Jollywood Nights on November 8th. If you want to join us for our Dillo's Diz meetup there. And just to add one more before we get into this trip report, because we're trying to record multiple episodes. Probably not going to happen, but we were on the Hyperion Adventures podcast this past week with Tom and Michelle, and with Keenan and Rachel, and talking about Hamilton, all things Hamilton. So make sure you check that out over on the Hyperion Adventures podcast feed.
Yeah, we could have had multiple episodes of that as well, much like my trip reports, because all of us are a little bit passionate when it comes to Broadway and Hamilton and all the things. So
yeah, they were for two people who have never seen the show live on stage. I thought we held up all right.
We tried our best. It wasn't easy. I felt like a fraud living in New York.
I mean, like I said, I kind of threw it in there just kind of for context. But yeah, I never saw Phantom of the Opera until its closing year. It was in New York City for 35 years. Mm-hmm. The original Les Mis, I never saw the original Miss Saigon. I never saw anything that was like, other than the producers, things that were really big.
Yeah.
I didn't see Wicked for 10 years. So
I mean, it took me 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, Les Mis you didn't see?
The original Broadway, no.
Original.
Yeah.
I don't know what years. What years are the original Broadway?
Like late 80s, early 90s for all those.
Because I believe I went on a 5th grade field trip to Les Mis.
Oh, very nice. I saw Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon, the helicopter lands on the stage. It's a whole big thing. I saw a touring production with Dee Dee Magno Hall.
I was just gonna ask.
In Orlando. Right, that was after the party, and the party celebrating 35 years this summer from their debut album release. And then I saw it in London about 11 years ago now. Yeah. It's fine. I'm throwing all the things out there.
Just all the things you did. Lewis says, neither of you have seen it on stage. I would not have guessed that. Yep, here we are.
True story.
We are.
And, it's a couple of things, too. And I didn't say it on the podcast with Tom and Michelle, but, when that Disney Plus dropped, it's kind of set me back of like, I mean, granted, it was the pandemic, so, but it really was like, what? Am I going to see anything better than this right now on stage? Mm-hmm. Like it was the original cast. How can you do better than that? So that sent me back for a little bit.
I like this. Ryan, hold on. Oh my goodness. This chat, because we're in Riverside, everybody. So this chat like jumps more than the other one used to. So I have to like scroll and catch up. Here it went again. Lewis was saying, show idea for the holidays, Dillo's trivia quiz. Use one of those quiz apps and get us to guess about facts. That kind of sounds like a Dillo's Madness.
Oh, maybe.
Can we tie that in? Can we tie we should start at the holidays with Dillo's Madness this year. And then maybe finish it by March. Like go in reverse this time.
Yeah, that sounds like something. Curious.
I don't know if you guys are talking. Okay, because Jeffer said you never saw Phantom. Frank did, but not until
the final, like 3 months before it closed. It took me 35 years.
Yeah. Did I see it?
You had to have seen it.
Maybe.
What happened in the 90s when I was away? You had to go see Phantom.
It's possible. When you were away, it sounds like. Listen, when Italian New Yorkers say you were away, it takes on a whole different meaning.
When I wasn't around, what happened? It's also August is 30 years since I moved to Orlando, so that's also
all the things. How are your dreams going with all of these big anniversaries?
There's a lot going on. I have this fancy Field of Understudies project I've been trying to pull together as well, trying to figure out what the path of smoothness is, and I don't think that exists. But that takes place in 1996 in Florida, so there's a lot of I'm constantly like living in that place a lot. And fieldofunderstudies.com, everyone, if you want to take a look.
Yep. Man, everyone's singing crisscross. This chat will make you jump, jump. Crisscross will make you chat, chat.
So
We should do it. I
1992.
did also see Nate wanted a T-shirt idea. Yeah, I'm friends with the Lord of Misrule.
Oh.
Might need
Yeah, I
that.
mean, we never had a Lenny Burrows shirt in all the years.
That's true. We did make the kids' shirts when they were quite tiny. Maybe their first trip there or something, that they were mini merrymakers. Jeffers, what are you questioning? Lenny, Mrs. Dillo, and Jeffers? First of all, where am I in that? You know I already booked my hotel. And second of all, what do you mean questioning yourself? You'll be there. Stop it.
And Jeffers, I've heard lots of travel plans for you this month, Jeffers. All right, so Jen's trip report, which is already 2 episodes strong. Let's set the table once again. Jen, in early July, was in Walt Disney World for a couple of days to stay at All-Star Sports. She did the 3-day, 3-park situation, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, #AlwaysMGM. That's not an additional park. That's the second one. And then Epcot as her final day. So we're on the final day of the 3-day, 3-park pass, which, what is it, $80-something a day for an adult?
89? Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Because of AARP, I think a little bit cheaper than that. And then the 8-year-old, still being a Disney child, got a bigger discount.
Yeah.
So that was also nice. So it was like, that's the thing. And then you show up to the ticket booths and it's like, $184 for the day. Get out of here. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I probably will, but I don't want to. So.
Yeah. And do they do that on? I don't remember doing that last year because that's the ticket we bought for the meetup last November. They didn't do it. Would you like to add the Magic Kingdom today for only $184? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Magic Kingdom full price. That for one day for the 4 of us would have brought it to almost just an additional $800 just for that day. So
Is there a way? I know going back to probably 2021, right? They were doing the 4-day, 4-park. Is there a way, and the answer is probably no, that they can try to get the Magic Kingdom back into this deal somehow?
I don't like, why not? Why not? Because they're giving away the water parks for free, which I also did on this trip. But why not? So make the ticket price a little bit more or something and put all 4 parks in there.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. When you're seeing it, you're like, wow, yeah, this is great. And I get it. Because how many people, of course, tag that on? I get it. But
I've been going to the movies a lot, and the upscale, upgrade your popcorn for $1 more. Like, do you want to go to the Magic Kingdom for $150 more? No, but will I go for $120? Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I even looked at those. The after hour. What's it called? The extra.
Extra magic hours?
No, like the late night. Like it's like the after hours events. Just to see, but they didn't have one for Magic Kingdom. But yeah, I mean, like even Studios and Epcot were for those nights like $155 or so for the after hour. And I'm like, you know what?
Speaking of movies, we both saw Fantastic Four over the weekend. The rare case of Jen seeing a Marvel movie. And there's been a lot of talk. You got the character meet and greets in Disneyland happening right now. You haven't been to Disneyland, Jen, but you get theme park vibes watching the Fantastic Four. Do you see a place for them here? I mean, there's a Marvel situation in Orlando, but what about for Disneyland? Can you see it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, we don't have to go on a Fantastic Four recap tangent.
Especially I just set up the Epcot day, but we just tangented
right.
to.
We'll get there. It's it has a little bit of an Epcot vibe.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
So that works. Yeah. But I liked the vibe too, and also it's just very, 60s-ish.
We like that Mad Men vibe.
I like that Mad Men vibe. I love the contemporary look of everything. Quote unquote contemporary look of everything and all the things. But yeah, no, you can totally work that all in. I also think there's a lightness to the characters themselves where they could interact with guests and have fun. Like there's definitely potential.
Well, yeah, they're relatable characters, right? I think that was a strong part of the movie, is that because it seemed relatable in the film, it makes for potentially good meet and greets.
Yeah, Yeah.
So, that,
Nate saying if there isn't a Tomorrowland Fantastic Four takeover, someone should be fired. Interesting.
yeah, very much
Interesting.
so. All right,
No
so
spoilers,
Epcot.
but-
Speaking of the future is now, and the future is Epcot.
Yeah, totally. Isn't it?
Jen, your Studios Day, you did a morning and a night. Your Animal Kingdom Day, you did barely morning only.
It was a morning. It was afternoon when I left.
Oh, there was
at
the 12.
12:45.
There was a 12 as the first number. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And,
Closer to the PM.
and Epcot morning and night, obviously.
Morning and night. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And are you going to discuss on this episode the circumstances in which you had Epcot be your final day?
I don't know. We might have to overlap that a bit.
Because of
Perhaps into a maybe the next episode of dining a little bit, but maybe carry it over then until the next episode with a guest, perhaps.
with the guest, maybe.
Maybe. Just as a side note, this has nothing to do with a future guest, but Jeffers was also in Disney at the same time. And on the Studios Day that morning, also in the park, Jeffers. Did we ever cross paths? No, we did not. We were on opposite sides. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Okay, I'm leaving. Like, we were never even near each other. Epcot also similar to the point where I was looking at our dinner reservations for that night. Spoiler for the dining, but I see our Japan reservation, but I also see the hibachi side as well. And I go, oh my God, did we make 2 reservations by mistake? What did we do? And I'm looking, and then I click on it and I go, oh, it's Jefferson fam. Literally a 10-minute difference between our reservations. And I'm like, totally missed that. Even though at that moment, and Jeffers, I will say, at that moment I did go, I do recall Jeffers saying he was going to do that, but I didn't realize the timing and all the things. But anyway, back to Epcot. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say another opportunity to not completely hear everything Jeffers is telling you.
Yeah, of course. Naturally. I was shocked by his plans that he had told me about previously.
Poor Jeffers.
Poor Jeffers. Jeffers, we're trying. We're listening. We hear you. And we probably won't rent an electric car next time.
All right, I'm going to sit back. Let us begin in Epcot.
Okay. Here we go. Epcot. We walked into Epcot, and I believe we put the DOS Pass in for Soarin' to try to go there first. But as we were approaching Spaceship Earth, 5-minute, no line walk. No, we're going right to Spaceship Earth.
Nice.
Especially that if you recall in January, we did Spaceship Earth as our last thing that day and got stuck kind of and walked off, but at the very end. And the 11-year-old was not happy about that. And so we were worried about, are we going to get him on this ride again? And we're like, oh, good. It's good. We're good. It's morning. It's totally different than later in the day. Let's all go. So Spaceship Earth to start the day. I think that's a perfect way to start an Epcot day. Right onto Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. It feels rare, right, in this day and age of, everyone walking into the park. Sure, they may be running to Frozen or Test Track was still in the middle of not the AP, it was still, which preview portion?
They were soft opening.
Yeah. Whatever it was something random going on. And that, because Jeffers is an AP, so it wasn't AP time.
Yeah.
But, so if they're running to Soarin', or they're running to Frozen, or they're running to Ratatouille, then maybe that's opened things up a little more for Spaceship Earth. But traditionally, they're just piling into Spaceship Earth first thing in the morning.
Yeah, and I do think most of these mornings, I was getting in there at 8:30 because of the early morning hours, because of being a resort guest or whatever. So I don't know if that plays into it, but yeah, there have been plenty of times that I've walked in and have passed by Spaceship Earth going, I'm not doing that right now. I'll wait till the line dies down. So it was kind of odd to be like, is it even open? Are they running it right now? Because you literally just went right up. But that was lovely. So after Spaceship Earth, we went over to Soarin'. We did have kind of in the back of our minds that we would make our way to Ratatouille. Right. How should we say it for Dr. J, who's listening, going, why are you saying it like that? But and probably like grab some breakfast in France and stuff like that. But we went on Soarin' because the kids love Soarin'. It's their like top ride at this point. And afterwards, they were like, we can get food here, right? Let's go to the land. And I'm like, guys, the land back in the day, though, that's where it was at. I don't know about now. But they're like, no, we're hungry. And I'm like, fine. And so they just got like that. The land, I will tell you, attention all parents, if you have little kids or if you have picky eaters, go to the land because they have just such a random display of food and like little things they could put together to make their own meals or whatever. So that's basically what they did. And we were like, what are they eating? What's happening? But
Bring
that
back
was
the
kind
baked
of
potatoes.
yeah, no. And it's so weird for Mr. Dillo and I because we used to take off our name tags and then go eat in the land for, while we were working and stuff. But, okay, so that was like a little land break. Then when we came out, or maybe while we were there, we put in the DOS for Frozen. And we were like, okay, we'll go over to Figment next. But we did Nemo first because sometimes that Nemo line, I think because of the Moana, there's like this crossover that starts to happen. I don't know. But we went right to Nemo, walked right on to Nemo, then went over to Journey into Imagination, walked onto that. So, early in the morning, we had knocked out Spaceship Earth, Soarin', Nemo, Figment, and we were walking over to Frozen. So it was like, cool. We're at a good place for whenever we're ready to go here because we're knocking out a lot of the big rides.
Question, no Moana walkthrough during all that in the middle of July?
No, and you know what? No Moana walkthrough at all on the trip.
Whoa.
we did mean to do it at later at night, I think, before the fireworks and maybe after Grand Fiesta Tour, which comes later, spoiler, and then the timing just didn't align. So, and then we were like, oh, we didn't do Moana.
Right, I remember you telling me in January, the Nemo line, you thought there was a Moana Nemo crossover situation because the Nemo line was so long.
Yeah. So we went over to Frozen, went on that, then walk it. Okay, so now it's getting hot. But we're in Frozen. We stop. So I went in for the Viking coffee.
Oh.
Right. And so we're like, it's early though. It's like 10:45. Oh, well. And I was like, oh, but not the one with the crunchies because I don't know what the crunchies are and I can't confirm I won't fall asleep from them. So she's like, okay, well, the iced coffee doesn't have the crunchies. I'm like, perfect. Let's do that. So we both get them. But then as I'm drinking it, I'm like, also, attention, everybody, I'm not doing dairy either. So I'm like, oh, what am I drinking? This has dairy in it. Well, I don't want to get sick. What am I doing? So that coffee didn't last long, but we had gotten that, and Mr. Snidillo got some school bread from the Norway bakery, and so we had a little treat there, and we were going to walk over to Ratatouille to go on the ride. And by this time, it was getting hot. I feel like EPCOT was the day. The previous 2 mornings didn't feel so disgustingly hot that quick. Like it took some time. EPCOT, we felt it a little quicker. And now we're in World Showcase, walking around the entire park over to France. Only to walk up while here. Oh, such everybody. Attention. I was like, here we go with this ride. Here we go with this ride. And the ride had shut down. And people were just exiting and walking towards us. And the kids were like, what? We're sweating now.
And you're in the deepest part of the park.
I was like, but look at all these people that they were stuck in line outside. Don't you feel bad for them? At least we know before we. Yeah. I don't understand with this ride. You guys have encountered that more than once. I have encountered it more than once. Why? Why is this ride down so much? I don't get it.
Yeah. What's the complication? Is it puke? What is it? Mission space situation? What is that? Like I don't know what the
Yeah, but that's true. And that's a protein spill. Please use proper terms. Thank you.
Lewis is poo-pooing the Nemo attraction here, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. And let me tell you something. My daughter loves the aquarium. So we are going to Nemo every time. And I also see that Nate Hardy is claiming that we're trying to. You don't compare Moana to the Animal Kingdom. I'll go in Moana all day long, any time of
What do
day.
you mean? What meant to do Moana like they meant to do Animal Kingdom? I went to Animal Kingdom, Nate. I spent 4+ hours there. I did time. I also went to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I spent plenty of
That's a
time
full
over
day,
there.
even though it was on 2
That's
different days. It crossed
put them
over.
together.
Yeah.
Full day.
You count those 8 hours at All Star Sports when you go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge the night before, and then go to the Animal Kingdom the next day. Then you add the time there. It's allowed.
Exactly. Anyway, so after that, we're like, well, okay, let's head back to the hotel. It's a good time for a break and a swim. But now we have to walk from the back of the park. And never have I wished that we were either maybe staying at Pop so we could hop on these Skyliners, or even better, the beach club. And I could just walk right over to the room. But no. So we crossed the bridge. We go to that little gift shop because I'm like, this is always a good one where I find something good in here. Also looking for more backup hats of Mr. Dillo's hat.
Right.
Not to be found. So we still have the backup. He has not worn yet, so it's good. We have some time.
Question. No consideration made to pack the bathing suits so you can run over to the quiet pool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And no, and that's really a fail on my part. I didn't really think that through. And I didn't get to the Beach Club Boardwalk area at all on this trip. I almost did the last morning, but we'll talk more about that in the next episode of why we pivoted.
Oh, no.
So I did not get there. But we slowly and hot made our way to the front of the park. And I'm trying to think if because we had been parking with the electric car and then sometimes busing back. But I think we just took the car back this time and went back to the hotel for our little break time. And then I'm trying to think what time we came back in. I feel like it was 3:45 that we ended up going back into Epcot. And I know this because later on, when you had texted about the soft opening that I didn't know about, I was like, I was here. I was here during the time that it was happening, and I didn't know. And this is what I get for not checking social media while I'm on vacation. Okay, hold on. Let me just see. When you are using Disney transportation, it's a lot less walking when you are back there to take the Skyliner and then the Hollywood Studios bus, and then you get to ride the Skyliner. That's interesting. I mean, but am I okay if I don't ride the Skyliner, Lewis? I am. So,
Well, so is Lewis suggesting in that scenario for the future,
yes,
Skyliner to Hollywood Studios,
yes,
get on a bus, go back to All Star
Yes.
Sports rather than walking all the way back to the front of the park.
correct.
All right.
But that is, have you taken the measurement of walking? Because the studios buses, when you get there, sometimes they can be, well, I mean, they're pretty close,
you
but
just got to hook around.
you're right there. Yeah, that's true.
Noted for that one. That's a good one.
Yes.
See, we haven't done enough Skyliner embracement to
No.
see it that way. We're still angry.
Now
a
you
little
could
bit.
say that about us, Nate, but yeah, it's not the same. All right, so after we came back into the park, we went to Club Cool to sample all the things, including Beverly for the 11-year-old. I think the 8-year-old took a slight sip, and Mr. Dillo was like, I haven't had it in a while, let me do it. And he was like, no, why?
I mean, there are
so
classic videos of the 11-year-old drinking the Beverly, which I save those videos because they're amazing.
Yeah.
It's a must do for him at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I think
he hates
he
it.
feels like he has to. Correct. Yeah. Well, that's, yeah. And at some point, I think when he's older, and I don't know, this kid has looked the same since basically he was a year old. So it's always tricky to share videos or anything of him. So maybe if his face changes at some point, I'll share it.
We were at Mama and Papa Dillo's on Sunday, and at one point he came out, where we were sitting outside, and he came over to the garage side, which was opposite. He was where you were sitting, opposite me, that side.
Yeah.
And there is a picture of me and him from like in that same spot, but when he was 5.
In the red shirt.
Yeah. And he looked exactly the same.
Yeah. There are infant pictures that will come up, and I go, "Yep, that's the same face. He looks exactly the same."
So funny.
Like, but then the 8-year-old, I feel like, has changed a lot.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
even like toddler
Yeah, you
8-year-old
could
to
start
now.
sharing
Like,
baby Disney pictures and videos probably of her.
yes, because she does not look, but it's so funny. Nate, the snark is with love. Okay, so after Club Cool, we still had to put in again, I don't remember, our Ratatouille Das. So after Club Cool, we made our way right over to France and did that. And then we headed to Japan right after for our dinner, which I think we were, probably 15 minutes or so early for. But we ate in the front part of the restaurant where it's like more sushi. I mean, you can get some of the hibachi stuff, but it's more sushi based. And we got a window seat and we were like, we will stay here for 4 hours for the fireworks later. Thank you. Can we do that? And at some point, Jeffers and family came in and went to their hibachi seats. Yeah. So as she does, the 8-year-old had to use the restroom while we were at dinner. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go stalk Jeffers now. And then I saw Jeffers and his family. And I was like, no, you don't see us. And then we passed by, and then we passed by again. And so he finally saw me. But I'm like, in what world are me and Jeffers just eating in the same building? And what is happening? So after dinner, I think we were walking... We're almost in Mexico because we're going to go on Grand Fiesta Tour when I got your text going, they're doing soft opening previews. Go. And we were like, what? Guys, we're going to Test Track. We're not going. We'll come back to this. And the 8-year-old was like, no, what? No, I'm not going. What? I'm not going on this ride. We're like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's not a roller coaster. It goes a little fast. It's fine though. You go faster than that in the car sometimes. It's okay. It's just like being in a convertible really fast. She's like, I don't want to do that. And then she would hear the cars and she'd be like, what is that? I'm like, it's the ride, but it's going to be fine.
Totally fine.
We're just walking, doing all of that. And we get there, and like all the bushes are walled up with the cast member in front. And I was like, but I'm seeing people come off of the ride. And I was like, are you doing previews? He's like, oh, we were for basically the last 4 hours, and we ended it 10 minutes before you walked up here. And I was like, cool, great, okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother me.
I blame that Mission Space. You can't go to that side of the park at all. I mean, you're not even touching that side of the park because you're not going on Mission Space at Guardians. Mr. Dillo do Guardians at all?
He did not. He did not. No. Now, would he have if perhaps some of his night was not reserved? But maybe. So maybe there. I do recall as well when we were back at dinner, we were like, is there anything you guys really want to go on again or get DOS again, or are we just going to walk around and go to Moana and Grand Fiesta Tour and all that? There was a request from the 11-year-old for Frozen again, which I was surprised at. So we did Frozen again 2 times for that ride, which was surprising. And then after that, Mr. Snidillo left us to go attend a reservation that we'll talk about another time. And me and the kids went to Grand Fiesta Tour. And because, I have to walk in there and just get that smell of the Mexican pavilion and the Mexico pavilion. I don't know. And I know Josh tomorrow let me preview the ride. I should have done that.
Should have name dropped. Lewis is saying that the Test Track car is slower than a real car, and having driven on the Osceola Parkway with Lewis on the wheel, I can attest.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. I will say, walking back towards Norway, we did cross paths with Jeffers and the eldest of the Jeffers children on the little Odyssey Bridge, if you will. And
was he hanging out with any custodian cast members over there?
Oh, I'll get to the Odyssey building in a second. I forget when we stopped in there. That's later. I'll get there. But I'm like, Jeffers. So he finally turned and saw us. And so he was like, oh, hey. And then I was like, okay, well, we'll see you later. No spoilers. And so then we continued on. So then we went to Frozen and Grand Fiesta Tour. So when me and the kids were at Grand Fiesta Tour, first of all, there was a little bit of a line. Odd. I don't know that I've ever been on like a line, but we're at the point of being asked how many. And I'm seeing a lot of movement with cast members. And I was like, uh-oh, this ride's not going to get shut down. This ride is about... And I'm like just watching people and they're talking to each other. And I'm like, nope, this ride's not moving. No, there's too much hullabaloo. Oh, here comes the manager. Yep, okay, got your radio. Great, okay, oh, you're going behind that door. Okay. And so I'm just waiting. And the 11-year-old will describe one guy that was sitting in the boat as a grandpa type guy, just sitting in the boat watching everybody, like waiting to see like what's going on and why aren't we moving kind of a thing, but very silent, just watching everything. So they literally said, we're going to have to shut down the ride and then start it back up again.
Oh.
It's like, you guys are just rebooting the ride? That's like what we all do with our phones and computers. That's what you do with the Grand Fiesta Tour? Okay. So I think because we were like right there, the kids were okay with like waiting it out, because that line like further in is very like narrow. So I saw people being like, I can't stand her anymore. It's like it gets hot and cramped there. But we were able to make it on the boat. We were just there a lot longer than normal. And it was funny because the 11-year-old was trying to figure out like what was refurbished. And he was like, this is new. I'm like, that's not new. No, this is new. No, that's not new.
That is this new? This looks different.
They do something with that? They painted? Wasn't that blue? I thought it was blue. No. Yeah, so we did that. And then after that, the kids and I did stop in the Odyssey building. I'm like, we can hang out in here and just like chill out. Now, I know you have fantastic memories from the Odyssey building. I will say, because it was a
non-festival.
Festival, thank you. I have Fiesta in my head. And I'm like, what is it called? A non-festival time at EPCOT. There's nothing happening in Odyssey building. And so it's a fantastic place to go for some air conditioning and just to sit down for a little bit, because not many people are there. A lot of people are walking through it, but no one's really kind of just hanging out. So if you need a spot, here's a trip hack. You can go and stay in the Odyssey building. So we did stay in there for a little bit, and then we ended up walking. After Spaceship Earth, really got into the computers and stuff that were at the end of Spaceship Earth in the morning. Yeah. So they were like playing around with stuff. I'm like, man, you guys would have loved Innoventions. Can we go? Like, what is this stuff? Let's go. But so we went back and they were doing racing games again. Then they did this whole like body scan thing. Yeah. And I don't know but we were hanging out in there for a while. Mostly because we also weren't sure if it was about to downpour or not, because there was a lot of lightning in the area. And so luckily, like 2 minutes before, I'm like, let's go out, check the weather again, because the fireworks are going to start soon. We can try to see them. And the children and I were lucky enough to watch fireworks with Walt Disney, because that's where we were. We were right next to him watching fireworks. I was like, guys, this is amazing. Take this in. Take it in. That's all I kept saying, like the entire trip. Take a moment and just take this in, guys. Look at it. Smell everything. Feel that Disney breeze. So I was doing that with Walt. You are sitting next to Walt Disney right now. Take it in. Look at this. This is magical.
We don't need your animatronic Disneyland. We got the statue and we got fireworks.
That's right. I have a really good picture of them and Walt watching it. I think that was a good picture. So, that's what we did. And then that was pretty much the end of our night. Or was it?
Or was it?
So that was our EPCOT day. But I feel like aside from Guardians, which I personally would not have gone on, and Mission Space and Moana, we did everything.
Yeah, so my question that I have for you is, because you have done these July trips a couple of times now in the non-festival portion, and that includes when Food and Wine was ramping up at the end of July. Now it's, starting at the end of August again, like it's 2019 with Galaxy's Edge opening. So do you feel the need for a festival at EPCOT when you're there, or you're like, you know what, this might be better?
No, I have enjoyed enjoyed my non-festival July weeks because it's just nice to walk through EPCOT feeling like it's the 90s again.
Right.
And it's just, there's no crowds. There's not this deep sea of people. You can walk freely. There's extra space. There's just, I like, personally, for my nostalgic soul, I like walking around World Showcase during non-festival times. Festivals are great, and I have fun at them too, and it's a nice little balance, but it is nice to be there and just have room and breathing room.
Yeah, because now at this point, I don't know the last time I was in Epcot in a non-festival time period.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So,
Well, it's hard to do now. There's not many spots.
yeah,
But
the windows are few and far between.
yes, Val, I did get to go on Ratatouille when we came back into the park after our break. So it was broken down the first attempt. We did get back on it the second attempt.
What was the standby wait for Ratatouille? Do you know? Was it still at the
think.
high numbers?
I feel like it was like 55, 60-ish. And I feel like Frozen was 55, 60-ish, which to me, I was like, I feel like the crowds aren't that bad because...
Yeah. It wasn't
Especially
75 to
that-
90. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And last August when we were there, and we went to Frozen thinking, oh, it might not be so bad yet. And the line was to China and crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When considering where are the kids sit with Figment? I thought of one question and then I wanted to talk about Figment. Where are the kids with Figment?
No, I think it's kind of like this automatic thing for them of like, yeah, and then we'll go over to Figment, and then, like I don't feel like they rave about Figment, but they also don't ever say we're not going there or they don't want to go there, and they'll put it on the like, we can do this and then we can do this. But they won't go meet Figment.
Right. They won't meet,
Yeah.
well, right.
Yeah.
Do they go, who is this purple dragon? Like, they're not comparing Figment, and I'm going to start a little trouble here, come to like Duffy the Bear, right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you're letting the children know that Figment is on a pedestal.
They're aware who this is. Yeah, and quite honestly, at this stage, I don't know that they even know who Duffy is. I don't know. If I showed them a picture of Duffy, I don't know that they would know who Duffy was, but they know Figment. And I have mentioned how, especially on this trip, we talked more about like what things used to be and how they came back and that there was no, because they were like, is this a new ride? Is this an old ride? And I was like, well, a little bit of both. And that there was an OG, and then they kind of changed it, and then they changed it back a little bit, but they kept, all the things I talked about, the great movie ride and what Hollywood Studios used to be. So they're starting to become more aware. They were very interested in me and Mr. Snidillo's time working there and the questions we would get asked, and they were cracking up at how we would answer such questions and the tone we were using, and they were like, what is that voice?
Yeah. The 9-year-old heard my standard American voice, dialect for the first time a couple weeks. She was like, stop doing that. I'm like, well, I would like you to know that tomorrow we will be having breakfast. And she's like, stop it. Stop talking like that.
Yeah. Because I'd be like, a lot of people, will come and just blame us for rides being down there. Like, but it's not your fault. I'm like, I know it's not. But we couldn't say, well, that's not my fault. Too bad. So we would have to say very nicely and answer their questions and explain where they can go if they need more information and all of that. And how, then you do a 2-finger point or a whole hand point or directing people to where the bathroom was. But it was so funny. They were like, why can't you just say this? I'm like, you can't just say that. That's not Disney. That is not how you do it.
Everyone's asking about Duffy. Like, I don't want to start trouble with Duffy. Like, people love Duffy. I understand.
Oh. Jeffers, do you really not know what Duffy is?
He knows what Duffy is. He's trying to rile us up.
Is he?
I think.
All right. But yeah, so are there any other questions about my Epcot day? I feel like I zoomed through it, but
Lexi was pointing out in the chat that, the marathon weekend is typically pre-Festival of the Arts. So if we're having a meetup in January of 2027, don't say 26 because that's 2 months after the November 2025 meetup.
correct.
Then that's something to, for me, if the meetup does happen at that time, then I could finally attend Epcot during that time. Because even that when we went in 2018, at first I was like, oh, well, 2018 was around the marathon weekend, but Festival of the Arts, it either started early or they had the things out. They were they were ramping up for it because the marathon weekend was that weekend, but they had all the decor out and about.
Lexi and I, as most of you know, are doing the virtual 5K
Yes.
Race this summer.
Also in your
race.
August calendar.
No, I don't. Lexi, we're not gonna have time. A quote unquote race because Lexi, being the kind person she is, agreed to walk the 5Ks with me. However, we were trying to wait out getting the box of goodies so that they can kind of be used. Now literally we were talking about this one day last week, and it's as if Disney heard, because the next morning on the doorstep was the big box of goodies, which I have made a TikTok and it's sitting in the dress because I don't. Lexi, I was just about to ask you. She has not gotten her medals yet. And this is why I haven't released that video yet, because I didn't want any spoilers.
I just saw a TikTok that you're not allowed to have things in your draft because it will cause underperformance.
TikTok. Anyway, yeah. So we were waiting for all of that. It's going to end up going till the meetup. Me and Lexi will be doing the 5Ks every morning of the meetup.
Every morning of the meetup. I was like, oh, maybe the lead up to the meetup. That's a series of things we need to do. The lead up to the meetup.
Oh, the lead up to the meetup. I mean, for Lexi though, she's only at the meetup for like the party. So that's going to be, we're just going to be like marching in place of like all the rides and stuff and calling it our 5K, I think. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. That box came and I was like, oh, I get it now. I get everything now. This is awesome.
Epcot, with the fireworks, did you get any beacons of light time? Spaceship Earth in its glory at night?
Beforehand, I did. And before we went into Spaceship Earth to play some of the games, we were sitting out because you had like some lightning happening in the distance. You had like that cool pink sky around Spaceship Earth. But yeah, the beacons and the lights in front of Waltz were going off. The kids, Magic Band pluses then match up to all the things are happening at once. So yeah, it's pretty glorious. I mean,
I mentioned the beacons because if you're listening to the podcast for the first time ever, the story is that Jen and I do not like change.
Yeah,
we just want to say that never in a million years did we think we would accept anything other than the purple glow of Spaceship Earth at night. You're like, leave it as it is. Let it be purple forever. You want to do that little IBM 800 computer light show with the country spinning around it after illuminations. That's fine.
Yeah, sure.
But the purple, you can't. Shocked at how much we love it. We love it
so much. Yep, we love it. Ryan saying, so the virtual 5K is going to take longer than Dillo's Madness? It's possible. I don't think anything can take longer than Dillo's Madness.
You get more Jen and Lexi content that way, maybe.
Coming soon.
Yeah, Lexi, got to get those medals.
I know. It's crazy.
All right. Well, that will wrap things up on the third part of Jen's Disney World road. What do we call it? Trip report. I almost said road trip. It's because Jeffers has in the chat when you're on the road. So I had road in my head.
I thought you were going to say road rules, like the real world road rules challenge trip report.
It's true.
I don't know.
Lewis is here to say Frank and Jen don't like change. They don't like change so much they won't even accept blank. Match game. Can we change it before we go?
Yeah.
I'll ask it because Martin Short is the host of Match Game now. You know, they got.
Oh, I didn't know that.
this
I'm
summer.
so unplugged. I didn't even know.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they can't get Match Game right. There's just something off about it. When Alec Baldwin hosted it, and it's same. Kimmel doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's just the lights and the music. That's all you need.
Sure.
Okay, so where was it going? Frank and Jen don't like change. They don't like change so much they won't even accept blank.
Everyone put your answers in.
I don't know who's going to answer this to see who matches. What is everyone going to answer? I'm waiting for everyone to answer in the chat before.
I have to think of my answer. Do we have to write ours down?
Maybe. They won't even accept blank. Right, you got one, Jen?
I have one, but I don't know.
This is
Too much pressure.
I'm contributing to the problem that is Match Game, which is I don't know why they picked these answers. They don't like change.
Once again, Frank and Jen don't like change. They don't like change so much they won't even accept blank.
Oh, I got it. All right, I'm almost locked in. All right, I'm locked in.
All right. So Lexi has 2 answers. I don't know if that's allowed, Lexi, but we'll allow it here. Phantasmic, and she also says new 20s. Val saying pennies. Ryan saying a 5th gate at Walt Disney World.
Jen, what did you write down?
Well, I got it. We have to see if Jeffers and Lewis answer or not. Because I don't... a 4th gate. A 4th gate at Walt Disney World.
Good answer, Lewis. A 4th gate.
They won't even accept the return of the sorcerer's hat.
Good answer. I went with can you read the clue again, please?
Oh, sure. Where is it? Frank and Jen don't like change. They don't like change so much they won't even accept blank.
I said Disney dollars. Yes.
Oh, so ridiculous.
We can't end the podcast any better than that.
Oh my God. That's so
Jen
funny.
also said Disney dollars. $25,000.
We win. Frank's humming has to be a TikTok. We have to make it a TikTok sound.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here on Theme Park Thursday with Dillo's Diz. Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
The Dillo's Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo-Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snidillo Studios. Dillo's Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit dillosdizresort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at Dillo's Diz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, dillosdiz.com. Dillo's Diz Podcast 2025.